Hey guys, my name is Brennan Watson. I have a lo-fi artist project called Cimanonn that I just started, and this track that I'm about to break down is the first track that I'm releasing under that name. It's called Help Is On The Way. Go listen to it and then come back and watch this video and you'll be like, oh, that's how he did that. Or you can watch this video and then go listen to it and also be like, oh, that's how he did that. Either way, doesn't make a difference to me. Let's get into it. This track started with this piano sound. Yeah, I was like, what if I put a piano through it and vocode the piano with the same notes that I'm playing on the piano? See what happens. So that's what I did. Piano in the vocoder, and then the carrier is this Thor patch, which is it's just a saw wave. That's all it is. And it sounded like this. I think that's dope. It's sending to this reverb lo-fi oddity, this part, this like multi-effects plugin from Aberrant DSP. Shout out Aberrant DSP. Their plugins are incredible. I'm using most of them on this track. Yeah, but this section here is a reverb, which I am obsessed with. And then it does have some additional effects on it. It has this like synthetic thing, even though it's still definitely piano, but there's something wrong with it, which I like, but I felt like it needed more bit crushy weirdness, so I added this instance of Digitalis, which is by Aberrant DSP. Crazy GUI, but yeah, makes it sound like that. Love that. So sorry about the clicks. My computer is not built for recording and playing music at the same time. And then a little bit of Unison, which is just a chorus plugin, basically a stereo chorus. And so without it, with it, just adds some extra width, and oddly enough, like pushes it farther back just a little bit, I think, in the mix. After that, the drums come in. The drums sound like this. Here we go. So the snare and those little like percussion things are sending to that same lo-fi reverb that the piano is sending to. There's a few things going to that reverb in this track. The snare, almost all these drum sounds are Reason stock sounds, albeit heavily affected and changed. So the snare on its own with no effects sounds like this. That's absolutely disgusting. So a little bit of bit crushing, way too much high end, filter to take out that nasty high end, and then a little bit of this free transient shaper by Analog Obsession, just to take a little bit of the attack off. It was just a little too bitey. It's too in your face, especially for this genre, this being like lo-fi chill out music. It needs to not be too aggressive. Kick is processed much the same way. Up here, bit crusher, filter. Without it, sounds like this. This kick is from the Swam drum kit. Everything else, all this stuff is Reason stock sounds, as is the hi-hat. Hi-hat is a percussion hit. It's not technically a hi-hat, or at least according to Reason, it's not. It started its life sounding like this. Now it sounds like this. That's it. Just pitch it down a little bit. Pitching down things is your best friend all the time. Now we have this lead, which is this Gameboy patch. This is a free plugin. Plenty of cool retro gaming sounds in there. Sounds like this dry, which is a cool melody, but setting to a bunch of effects which give it drastically more life. So going to that same lo-fi reverb as earlier, going to a Unison, just to make it a little bit wider, like the piano, and then eighth note delay, I call thickener. Just a little bit of it. It's an eighth note. It's got super long repeats, and it just kind of sits behind and makes things feel a little fuller. I think I'm doing some bit crushing to that too. I'm just bit crushing everything, man. That's the vibe today. Yep, same process, literally same thing, same process as all of those drums up there. Bass is super simple. It's just a standard sub. I guess the only thing interesting, it's this Europa patch. The only thing funky about it is it's going to the filter so I can goose the drive, because without the drive it sounds like that. With the drive it sounds like that. Just a little bit of extra harmonics help it cut through a little more. Yeah, and then there's this swelly thing, which is also from Gameboy. It sounds like this. There it is. Swells, real quick, let's talk about the transition effects. These are both Foley things. Wave sample and then a river sample from the Cymatics Life sample pack. Sound like this together. I'm a big fan of making swells and stuff out of stuff that's not like just meant to be a swell, right? I'm sure I'm not the only person. I know other people do this, but I think it's cool. There's this pad that comes in. It's in on this kind of whatever this section is. I don't really know what any of these sections are called, if this is like a verse or something. Just a little bit. It's this labs pad. Sounds like that. It's the textural pads, Deneb, which Labs textural pads are incredible. Go get them. Again, free. Mostly free stuff on this track. It's just playing one note there and then some chords later over here. But then when we get into this B section over here, we get into it plays some chords and stuff, which let's talk about the B section, because I think I've talked about all the individual sounds. It needed something to break up the monotony of that loop playing over and over again. So I just played these chords. And then this pad up here comes in. Such a cool sound. I love that so much. So much. Back into the chorus. Yeah, that's the B section. Last sound I forgot. This only happens in this like verse section or whatever, but this little thing. That sound, love that sound. That's like a lead thing that I made, but it's going through Digitalis. I don't have the original sound anywhere because I resampled it, because Digitalis adds a lot of latency. Which is not a bad thing. It's just because of how the technology works that they use to make. Anyway, doesn't matter. Digitalis adds a lot of latency. The point is I resampled it because of that. Yeah, just a little whatever that is. And then the outro is just the same thing. And then there's these two loops down here. They're just campfire sounds. There's one in each ear because one mono down the middle just wasn't doing it for me. That's the track. I'm not going to turn on the mastering chain because it's going to get stupid loud, but this is kind of where the free plugins thing breaks down. Fresh Air is free. It's adding a little bit of top end sizzle. This is not. That being said, all of these are from Plugin Alliance, and this stuff goes on sale frequently for very cheap. So this, I got this for $30, I think, and this is an emulation of an $8,000 compressor, and it's great. Just doing a little compression there. Duh. This saturator, just giving me some extra harmonics and texture. It's good. This mid-side EQ, I'm adding a little bit of warmth on the sides, and then also a little bit of top-end sizzle on the sides, which helps. And then this is a mid-side limiter, which is great. I highly recommend this thing. It's fantastic. Doing a little bit of limiting here. These XL knobs are fantastic. They like add additional harmonics, but not in the same way that this saturator does. It just makes it sound louder without actually increasing like the decibels or whatever. I'm not very good at explaining this. And then another limiter. So this is just so I can do less limiting here and less limiting here. Yeah, there you go. That's this track. That's Help Is On The Way. Go listen to it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Go listen to Help Is On The Way. Peace.